Today, I'm going to take a look at Strategy and Tactics number 119. This is titled The Horse Soldiers, Forrest at Bay, and that is the game that is in this issue, as you can see right here on the cover. I picked this up as part of a Noble Knight sale. By the time I post this, that sale is long gone. Sorry about that. So this is probably going to go in Kilroy's Bargains as well, because I got it at a really good price. Actually less than what the list price is back when you wanted to buy this fresh and new. It was $10 back in the day. The interesting thing about the game in this issue is it's a Richard Berg game, and it's part of the great battles of the American Civil War as that system has evolved. Kind of started off with the Terrible Swift Sword, and then evolved through other iterations, several of which I've covered, or I don't know about several, but some of which I've covered in magazine games, in Strategy and Tactics and the like. And this is following in this kind of transitionary period from the origins of the great battles of the American Civil War into what we see today. And I've covered some of the current iterations, which is published by GMT and is really excellent tactical or grand tactical Civil War battle system. Anyway, let's get inside this magazine and see what we have in here. And as you can tell by the title, this one is focusing mostly on mounted or cavalry. However, I say that incorrectly or correctly. So let's look at the magazine here. We'll do a page through first, but let's see what contents we have here. It looks like we got 2 counter sheets. And then we have, 2 maps. Now that's cool. I've not cracked this open yet. So 2 counter sheets and 2 maps. And that's what you're going to get in a magazine game. You're going to get the counters, you're going to get the maps, and then you're going to get the rules. And here are some of the game rules that are in the middle of the magazine, so that you can crack open the staples and then pull the game out. I think this is the last of the rules here. Yeah, looks like maybe this is the last of the rules in the front. See, there's the staples in the center. And here you go. Here are the rules. So you want to crack this out. And what I usually do is when they're centered in the center, imagine that, I pull them out and then put them in a plastic envelope with the bagged counters and the maps, and that's how I usually keep the magazine games. Then I put the magazines on the shelf. So quite a bit of rules here. Game rules page 32. Is that right? Let's see if they have the games rule page. Yeah, so there's, counting the cover, 32 pages of rules. So as you can see, this is the great battles of the American Civil War in its full glory right there. So let's do a page through and see what we have in this issue. So we have Forrest at Bay. This is, maybe there's an article. Usually there is an article that goes along with the game that gives you some context. That's one of the things I like about magazine war games. The issue game, which is Horse Soldiers Forrest at Bay. I'm doing this early in the morning on a rainy day after I've been traveling all week, so bear with me. I need to get my coffee. Union and Confederate Leaders. All 3 of these are by Richard Berg, these 2 articles, and this is the game. And FYI, data file, Caesar's Legions, okay, by Al Nafi. So if you're interested in data file on Caesar's Legions, it's a classic Avalon Hill game. FYI, Modern Notes, Third World Ballistic Missiles, Numerous and Deadly, by James Digman and Richard Yupa, and can't even read today. So those are the articles. Of course, you're going to get some advertisements for different games that are out there. Looks like you got some computer games out there. Some of your standard fare for the magazine. Oh, here's that Caesar's Legions data file right here. Oh, that's cool. So kind of gives you the breakdown, some of the units there. Here's the article that goes along with the game, Forrest at Bay. And then we get to the rules. Let's skip the rules for now, and then we'll do a quick page through of those. And this is the continuation of that article. Here's Gen Con 88, Origins Fair. The Battle of Brice's Crossroads. Another thing interesting about this, I think there's 2 battles in this issue. So I always like it when you get multiple battles in a issue. Here's the Tupelo campaign. And then we're getting into some Confederate leaders here. Looks like they're kind of, some of that Confederate leaders are strewn throughout the article. It's a little bit thicker paper there. And there you have it. It's strewn throughout the main article. There we go. So let's look at the rules real quick here. And if any of you are familiar with this, please chime in down below. I think it was, I can't remember, somebody commented on one of my feeds about kind of the transition of the great battles of American Civil War over time. I'd love to know more about that history and some of the changes. I don't know if there's a good article or a good map that shows where it started and how it got to where it is today. Here's the table of contents. As you see, this is a relatively involved game. I mean, you got triple column up to section 23.6 of different rules here, and again, it's 32 pages. Here's an explanation of the counters, talking about, the command, subordination, command range, rally points, rank, charge rating, that's for leaders. And then you've got, that's a cavalry brigade leader, then infantry brigade leader, and then brigade leader back. Of course, there's a cross on it. Then you have summary of the combat units there. Then all the leader rankings. Here's a combat unit front with your designation, formation, brigade, morale, initial strength, and weapon type. So C, I imagine that's a carbine. So you got sequence of play, actions and reactions. Again, this is triple column. So then you got movement, which is 3.5 columns, formations, facing, stacking, fire combat. Then we have your charts are going to be in here. Sometimes they're on the board, but if you have, or the map, but if you have, like in this case, there's multiple maps, so maybe you have to pull some of the charts from the book themselves or from the magazine itself. The rules, action, summary chart, terrain effects and movement, formation, stacking, prohibitions. That's interesting. So it's based on formation there. Terrain effects on combat, fire combat results, leader casualties, density adjustments. There's a lot of rules here. Assault combat results. So you got fire combat, assault combat, morale checks, morale die, roll, reference chart. And then you've got your being able to mark off, I guess, strength points or hits on the different rosters. The Union. Then you've got, this is Tupelo, and then Brice's Crossroads. And then you've got the Confederate for Tupelo and Brice's Crossroads. Oh, no, this might be ammo. Yeah. This page should be photocopied before use. Yeah, maybe this is ammo mark-off, maybe. All right. Zones of control, ammunition supply, speak of the devil, assault, melee and charge. Of course, those are going to be the most of the rules there. Those are, of course, they have the most columns of rules. Assault, cavalry charge, morale, rout, rally, easy for you to say. Retreat, artillery movement and fire. Leadership, brigade combat effectiveness. Reinforcements, skirmishers and detachments, fatigue and exhaustion, and then you get the scenarios. This is Brice's Crossroads. And then we have Tupelo. And have some errata for Tigers Are Burning, but there you have, that is the end of the rules. And then the rest of that is the magazine. So let's look at the components here. So we have two counter sheets here. This is Brice's Crossroads. And very much of the period for kind of SPI and the like of that period. The counters are kind of thin. I would imagine they come out relatively nibby. Kind of a simple blue on blue and red on gray here for the Confederates. Dual-sided. So that's Brice's Crossroads. Then we have Tupelo, which looks like it's a, imagine these are for Tupelo. Looks like a larger engagement there. See some of the leaders and the units. And of course, there's Forrest. Okay, double-sided. All right, let's look at these maps now. So this Brice's Crossroads. A little bit smaller type of map, which is kind of, I don't mind that. Kind of like smaller engagements sometimes. I tend to play these, two-handed solitaire, sort of, so to speak, a lot of times, especially magazine games that are not solo specific. And so having the smaller maps and having a smaller number of counters is easy to manage. But you can see this a little bit smaller map. You've got the map up top. You've got your turn track, stacking restrictions, range effects, initiative determination, terrain types, and turn continuation table down there. Let's go a little bit close up of the map here. So interesting to see some of the buildings. It's kind of a 3D buildings put there for the town or the buildings that were there for the battle. Very interesting there. So let's look at Tupelo. And this is a larger map. Go out a little bit more here. A little bit of glare there. So you've got your turn track, your stacking restrictions, your range effects, train types, turn continuation table, and initiative determination table. So those standard tables, all your combat charts you're going to need to pull out of the rules, or I would probably, if I usually have the time, I usually make separate copies of the charts so I can have them, with the game and on the side of the table. So here's the map. Those are cornfields. A little bit interesting green there. Let's do a little bit closer in here. See what we have. But those are cornfields. And of course, you have these buildings again. Here's a church. These are woods. Of course, this is elevation 3 is the brown or the dark brown. elevation 2, elevation 1, and no red on this one. The other map had a red, I believe, which is elevation 4. So very functional. The graphics are fine. It's interesting, these 3D buildings are kind of interesting, how those are pulled out there. But there you have it. That is what you get in Strategy and Tactics Game Edition. Of course, all of them were Game Editions back then, I believe. Only don't know when they started doing the having a choice between a Game Edition and just the magazine itself. That probably took place much later with a different, probably maybe when Decision Games took it over. Not certain there. That is what you get in a, let's put the counters down first. Issue 119 of Strategy and Tactics. Let's put it with the right map. So this is Tupelo over here. This is Brice, it's Crossing over here. And then we've got the magazine right there, which has the rules in it. There you have it. Thank you all for stopping by. If you've played this game, or if you want to talk about the evolution of this system, feel free in the comments down below. Maybe I should do a special, maybe I should do my homework for a change and look into this and see what that evolution is and talk about it. Anyway, thank you all. Hope you're having a great day. This has been kind of a Civil War week. I've, in commemorating Gettysburg, covered a couple of games that covered Gettysburg at a kind of an operational or higher level, and now we're finishing up with Strategy and Tactics that's dedicated to horse soldiers. Anyway, thanks all. Take care. Thanks for watching.